Oh my gosh. I'm dropping stuff on the ground. I don't know where my mouse just went. Where did it go? Hello? Hi. Oh, good grief, girlfriend. Hi. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Leah. Okay, I wasn't ready. So we're gonna have to figure it out. This was unexpected, so I appreciate you. Look at that emoji. Ramsey, hi. I got the notification. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. I just ate. Hopefully I don't have stuff stuck in my teeth. How is everybody? Oh, now that I have people in here, I can do my free memberships. Hold on. Hold, please. Let's see who the lucky winners are. Oh, no food and tea. Thank you, Fabian. I appreciate it. Let me go to my live. Hold on, I gotta do it on my computer. Look at the new emotes. All right. All right, are you ready? We're gonna give away membership gifting. Get ready. All right, send 5. Boom, boom. Who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it? We don't know. YouTube picks whatever. Who's getting it? Doug, Steven, Dave, Bobby, Salted Fishing. Okay, 5 more. Are you ready? I like the story. Thank you, Martin. Dave got 1. All right, and then we got 5 more. 5 more. Oh, girl and men, I gotta push the button. Good grief. See what happens. Stonks, Alice. Oh, Alice didn't get it. Hi, Alice. Roman King. Organic Dean. Marcus Roth. They're just jokes. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I appreciate everybody for being here. Every one of you. So, salud. Well, hi. I'm in the US and I would love to tell you that I speak Spanish, but I don't. I should, but I don't. But thank you for being here. Okay, let's, I got the fan on. Guys, it's like, how hard is it? It's 95 degrees today. Hi, Chris, how are you? Let me see, who did I miss? I'm not trying to be rude. Barbie's here. Hi, Barbie. Martin. Ramsey. Did I miss anybody? And Alice. Okay, I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. Dodge Hellcat. No, I have an RT. Draven, how are you? Me, hi Rope. Okay, can you play music after every story? No, Whiskey Taters, we're not doing that. I don't even have the big speaker in here. Only thing left from the party is the palm tree. And funny enough, I haven't even had to blow it up yet. Again. Oh, and the disco balls. This is crime time. Yes, this is crime. So let me pull up some articles because this is impromptu, very much not prepared. So my apologies. Talks amongst yourself. Hi, Phoenix. Hi, Andy. Everyone get along. Tell me what you had for dinner. Man kills flight attendant. All right, we're gonna try that one. Hold on. I've got one article, but let's see. Is Miss Kien? Kien habla? No. Queen? What? You were all busted. Hey, Saltwater! Just ordered some Starbucks. Nice. Good grief. Again, there's nothing but children. Let's see. What? Okay, that's an interesting one. All right. Keep in mind, we have no idea. Dino Nuggies. And I wanted a veggie ravioli. Okay, I made that beef stir fry stuff. Fools hasn't had that yet, so I made that. And then I made garlic bread. Oh, garlic French bread. So good. I love bread. I could eat bread as a meal, just in general. All right. Uh-oh, what happened? Let's pin that. I don't know. What happened? What happened? What did we miss? What did I miss? No, I want dino. I don't like dino nuggies. Road rage in Florida. Yeah, that's probably the thing. All right, stay with me. There's 27 of you here, according to my phone. I'm getting them. I'm sorry. Hold on. Hold, please. When I tell you I really wasn't ready, I wasn't ready. Oh, geesh. We can read that one. That one doesn't look, that's like child abuse, but not unaliving. So that's good news. Not that any abuse is good news, but main accused of major police interview. Oh, that's interesting. Good grief. I don't know what's going on with the world. America, we are messed up. Not all of us, but those of you that do what you do, I don't get it. Let's see. Oh, good grief. Sorry, all I'm seeing is the title of the article. So I have no idea what these are about. So before I lose you all, I'm just gonna start because I do have a few of them pulled up, and then we can add more as we go on. So for those of you that are new, welcome. Those of you that are old, I appreciate you coming back. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about crime that is happening in the US, and this is current event crime. So these are things that are in the news across the US. What we've learned is a lot of it is in Texas, Florida, and Wisconsin. But there are other crimes going on. And so I just randomly do a cold read on these articles. I don't know what happens. We're reading it together for the first time. So that is what's happening. So I'm gonna read the title to you. Oh, I guess trigger warning. If I will do my best to warn you if it's about children, as long as I know. Usually I can tell by the title. A lot of these crimes have to do with abuse and also unaliving. So if that bothers you, please scroll along. I do other lives like karaoke and different stuff at other points in time in my life that might be more appropriate. But for now, please know that these can be graphic. So there's your trigger warning. All right, snapped. Man kills flight attendant roommate and throws her off a bridge after she recorded him. Thank you, Dave. Leah made them for me. So thank you, Leah. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, Leah made these emojis. Aside from my 2 that I had, Leah did that. So we all should thank Leah. A Texas man is behind bars after admittedly killing his roommate and throwing her body off a bridge. Dennis William Day, who is 66, stands accused of 1 count of murder, according to the Fort Worth Police Department. The charge stems from the months-long disappearance of Rana Saluri, 47, who was finally reported missing by a co-worker earlier this month after she had not been seen alive, oh my God, since March. Okay, if you haven't talked to anyone since March, I'm just saying. And that's a co-worker. All right. The wide gulf, however, was partly explained by the victim herself taking a leave of absence earlier this year. See, I spoke ahead. The concerned coworker said Saluri left her job as a flight attendant for a minor surgery and was supposed to return by March 31st. She never did. A conversation on March 19th seemed to end abruptly, right in the middle, even the coworker told investigators. Police began working the case as a missing person incident and immediately had Day on their radar. That's because the coworker told law enforcement the pair had lived together for roughly a year. She also provided investigators with the video dated March 19th, showing Solori and her handgun in sight. In the video, a man's voice is heard off camera shouting. Travel receipts for the victim also showed a strange state of affairs. Solori had not traveled on an airplane for either work or pleasure since October of 2024. A supervisor queried by investigators said that not showing up and not calling was unlike her, having worked as a flight attendant for some 5 years prior. In May, officers towed Solori's vehicle from Day's residence on Grantland Circle in eastern Fort Worth. Day, for this part, allegedly said the vehicle had been parked for roughly 2 months, about as long as he had not seen his roommate. The defendant also said he moved some of her belongings into a storage shed and did not express knowledge or concern about her. As it turned out, the brand new car had been purchased about 2 weeks before it was abandoned. On June 10th, during a welfare check, Day described Solori as a longtime friend. The defendant allegedly confirmed, what is wrong with this? Solori was living with him, but insisted he had not seen or heard from her for 3 months. Where did it go? Oh, this is a really long one. What just happened? Sorry, an ad popped up and it kicked me off my spot. Wait. All right. On June 18th, police executed a search warrant on Solori's cell phone. She last made a phone call on March 21st. Finally, her cell phone pinged a tower for the last time around 3:52 p.m. She was roughly 5 miles from home. On June 23rd, police met with the defendant at his residence, where he again disclaimed any knowledge or any participation in the woman's disappearance. He also consented to search. As a result of that authorized search, investigators obtained video surveillance footage from the night of March 21st. Hey, Juice Man! At around 10 p.m. that night, Day can be seen dragging what appears to be a lifeless body from the home into the backyard. Hi, Allie. 1 second, please. Hi, Carolyn! According to the arrest affidavit, there the clip shuts off, police say, and does not record for several days thereafter. Once confronted with the evidence, the man allegedly confessed. Day said he realized Solori was recording him and he threatened to call police on him when he snapped, according to police. Then he grabbed her by the neck and went on to choke her until she died. The defendant said. Day allegedly told police the strangulation happened on the kitchen floor. After that, he dragged the woman's body outside and disconnected the surveillance system once he realized the telltale clue had been recorded. Later, the defendant said he loaded the woman's body in a black trash bin. The woman's remains were then dumped over a bridge in Bowie, a small town located roughly 70 miles northwest of Fort Worth. As for her cell phone, Day allegedly said he tossed it into a river within city limits. Day also gave investigators the location of Solori's gun, which has since been recovered. Though the defendant traveled with police to a number of bridges near Bowie, Solori's remains have yet to be found. Day is currently being detained in the Tarrant County Jail on only a $200,000 bond. Hi, Mike! So that is that. This man unalived his roommate, and he's only being held. It's crime! Carolyn and her pickles. Oh, Carolyn, have you seen? You know, TikTok is the way I live. They have, from what I heard, and I don't know why, maybe this is deja vu, and maybe you probably already know this, they have pickle-flavored hot Cheetos. Do you know that? I thought of you when I saw that. Maybe you already know. I don't know where you can find them, but the chick had a bag. Pickle-flavored hot Cheetos. Ew. Yes. Have you seen them? Yeah, but Carolyn has an issue in pickled flavored cheese balls. Oh, okay. Well, I'm new. I don't eat any of that stuff. I redirected to you. Hi, Ange. How are you? Ange, how's it going? Ange is all over the place. She's doing some awesome crime stuff on her channel. By the way, Ange, I did tune into you earlier. Have they given part of the verdict yet on the P. Diddy stuff? Or not yet? Salt water. Ever lit a hot Cheeto with a lighter? Yeah, Dave, we did that in elementary school. Donation $500,000 to the homeless. You donated. Oh, well, Ramsey, $500,000 to the homeless. That is amazing. Still, of course they are. Of course they are. Thank you, Ange. I appreciate you. Okay. Here's the next one. No verdict. Food should not burn like that. No, that's why they say, like if you go camping, you can take like a bag of Doritos, and that's how you can start your fire, by lighting one of the Doritos. Now I'm a Doritos fan, so just saying. All right, wife discovered with blue tongue after her husband fatally poisoned her slushie with sleeping pills from Target. That is a man. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the photo and I honestly thought that was a woman. The husband, that shouldn't matter, but it does look like a woman. The husband of a woman found dead at a care facility in Arizona allegedly poisoned her with a slushie laced with sleeping pills. In a press release, the county district attorney announced the indictment of 46-year-old Justin Davidson on one count of first-degree murder in connection with the death of his wife, Danielle Davidson, whose age was not provided. According to the release, Davidson was under long-term treatment for advanced dementia at the Eternal Spring of Gilbert facility. She was found dead in her room on June 11th, and her husband was staying in the room with her at the time. Hi, Yep, how are you? We're talking crime. Court documents obtained by local CBS stated that the facility staff noticed that Davidson's health had deteriorated since her husband arrived and told police that they noticed suspicious marks on her. When they found her dead, they stated that her tongue was blue. According to the court documents, facility staff told police that Davidson, who was a resident of California, allegedly told them that he did not want them to feed his wife. So he reportedly locked the door to his wife's room so staff could not enter. The staff told him to stop doing so they could continue to check on her. After Davidson was found dead, staff members reportedly found bruising on the side of her neck, which raised their suspicions. They called police, who questioned Davidson. It apparently did not take long for the widower to confess. Police said that Davidson allegedly admitted to a failed attempt to kill his wife with an intentional overdose. Oh my gosh. Of 50 to 60 crushed oxys for which she had a prescription. But despite the large amount of the powerful opioid, Davidson did not die. Hi, Destiny. Hi, Spine Guy. How are you? I haven't seen you in forever either. Despite the large amount, she did not die after Davidson fed them to her in her food. According to court documents, Davidson then allegedly confessed to buying over-the-counter sleeping pills at Target and dissolving them in a blue-flavored frozen ice drink from Arizona fast food chain EG's. I've never heard of EG's. He also allegedly confessed to smothering his wife with a pillow until she stopped breathing. Hi, Stocks. I saw you earlier, and I apologize if I did not say hi to you. All right. Davidson had previous altercations with his wife that involved police while the couple lived together in Southern California. Davidson was booked in the county jail where he is being held on a $1 million bond. His court date is scheduled for August 11th. It's very interesting how each state is a little bit different depending on the crime. So this man gets a $1 million bond, and the other one before only got a $200,000 bond. That's it. Both are murder. Don't understand. I need some more water. Nice to meet you, Yep. Oh yeah, Yep came from Full Stream earlier this morning. So, yeah, what was that? 50 to 60 freaking oxys? That's insane. I don't want to talk about it. All right. All right, you ready for the next one? Let me get to my chat because I'm not paying attention. Big Worm, how are you? Nice to see you. I appreciate you stopping in. Hey, can you help me? Nope, I can't. You're a loser. I can't do it. Because I read that comment. I can't. Nice. Hi, Spine. All right. Jam, hello. I'm trying not to miss everyone because I'm going to read this next one. Hi, Larry. How are you? Did I miss the boots again? Oh, the boots. The boots? The states which are more populated have more crime. Typically, Martin, yeah, that is true. Do I know fools? Probably not, Carolyn, and you would be sad because he did sing your song for you earlier and you weren't there. He was thinking of you. Just so you know. He did sing it. All right, the next title is Husband Dies Falling Off the Back of a Golf Cart with the Drunk Wife Behind the Wheel. Second person is arrested for telling her not to cooperate. How have you and Fools been? We've been good. We stopped drinking for a little while, so we're not drinking. That's a plus, just saying. Nothing chaotic going on here. Pretty boring, actually. When you're not drinking, it's boring. In my honest, we're learning to find things outside of drinking. So, before I read this one. So, for instance, when we sing, Fools made the comment earlier, when he plays loud music in the shop, it reminds him of drinking. When we do karaoke, we drink. Quite honestly, the only time we did drink was on live stream. Me too, Carolyn. I really like it too. And so for us to go, I mean, we live in a beautiful place. So we get bored pretty quick. Fools is really bad. Fools is a guy that needs to be occupied all the time. And I don't mean that as a put down. I mean that as in he gets bored very, very easily. So we've been trying to find new things, whether it's camping or we went out to see an old customer of his, going into the mountains, looking for haunted places. We're trying. We're trying to be outdoorsy without the booze, and it's pretty good. But I can see Fools is, he can only go to the range so many times before he's just, and it gets really hot too. So there is that. But he's doing great. He's doing great with it. I'm very proud of him. And so far so good. So that's where we're at with that. Hi, Brady. Okay, I gotta get with this. Let me start this. Okay, so again, the husband dies falling off the back of a golf cart with the drunk wife behind the wheel. Drinks can drag you down. Yeah, they can, saltwater. They can. They really can. Everything in moderation, right? And Fools makes the comment himself. I'm not putting him down because I'm also the same way. It's 0 to 60. There's no in between. It's either you're not doing it or you're going all in. So there, oh, it's 112. Excuse me, I will live at the range. Look, it's hot right now, and you know, when there's a lot of people, that's not a thing. But and the drinking thing goes for both of us. I mean, I tapered off before Fools did, where I was drinking just a few here and there anyway. But trust me, I can throw them back. You've seen it. You've seen it. I've had my not so great moments, so I'm no one to talk. Roman King, hello. Okay, guys, let me get to this. You guys chat with amongst each other, and I'm going to read you the story about the people in Georgia. All right, a Georgia woman allegedly was just a tick over the legal limit as she was driving a golf cart. Oh, in Florida. Interesting. Go figure. Now 62-year-old Cynthia Mackin is facing a driving under the influence charge out of Port St. Lucie. Around 5:20 p.m. Saturday near Astor Creek Golf and Country Club, Mackin was reportedly driving as her husband Daniel was standing on the back of the cart. And then stay sober without saying anything online. What? I'm gonna go get trash, that way people stop talking about it. No, I brought it up because they asked what we're up to. Hi, Maya. Okay. He fell off the back of the golf cart and struck his head. They were on a sidewalk going to another location of the golf course. Paramedics rushed the victim to the hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries. Cynthia allegedly had a blood alcohol content level of 0.09, just above the legal limit of 0.08. Cops took her to the St. Lucie jail, where she has since posted a $500 bond. The Mackins live in Greensboro, Georgia, which is roughly 75 miles east of Atlanta. Deputies also reportedly arrested a second person, 37-year-old Justice Morrison, for obstruction. Massetti said cops were trying to investigate the incident when Morrison reportedly interfered with them and was yelling at the officers and telling the wife to not cooperate with the investigation. He has also since posted a $500 bond. A probable cause arrest affidavit that would detail the events leading up to the crash was not immediately available. It's also unclear if the suspects have obtained attorneys. Detectives are consulting with the state attorney's office to determine if further charges are necessary. Yeah, it's called vehicular manslaughter, I believe. Fools, I will go drop a like and watch the video. Made another pistol. I'm tired. It is really tired. It's tired because it's hot. Anyway, so yeah, doofus was standing. Greensboro is like 2 hours from me. Ooh, big worm. Did you see it on the news then? To me, that's like a freak accident. Standing on the back of a golf cart, and then, I mean, I'll be honest with you. You guys know that I bartend at a golf course, so I can't tell you how many times I've seen people drive those carts intoxicated. It happens all the time. And if someone's just hanging off the back and he falls off, I don't know if I'd call it a freak accident. I mean, both of them are kind of to blame, but it's crappy. Another reason not to drink alcohol. I feel like every single day I keep hearing stories about how alcohol has ruined somebody's life. Just saying. North Carolina, come on and raise up. What? Are you saying PD? That's not PD Pablo, is it? It is PD Pablo, I think. Would it be vehicular? Wasn't buckled up and wasn't her fault if he fell off. Big Tex, hi. You know, I don't know, Allie. If he was hanging off the back, she's intoxicated. I'm assuming he was probably drunk too. That's my guess. Anyway. All right. This one has to do with children, just as a heads up. But it doesn't seem like, based on the title, that we're talking about unenlivening. I've been trying to stay away from those, and I will tell you, there's been a lot of them. There's a lot. So, all right, the title reads, Mom ate an entire foot-long sandwich meant to be shared with malnourished malnourished kids, then locked them in a dark shed near a highway so she could run a quick errand. I'm going to tell you one thing. Based on these photos, don't get upset with me. I have a feeling narcotics were involved. A mother and grandmother of 2 young kids have been arrested after the children were found unsupervised and locked in a dark shed next to a highway. Tamra, who's 37, and Sabby, who is 59, thank you, I agree, have each been charged with 2 counts of child neglect, while Tamra has also been charged with 2 counts of false imprisonment. They are both in custody. Guess where? In Florida. All right. Early Saturday morning at about 3 a.m., because, 3 a.m. is the time to be up and awake and doing normal people stuff, a concerned citizen called the sheriff's deputy saying 2 children were abandoned in the area of Waldo, a small town northeast of Gainesville. Been to Gainesville. Deputies arrived to the 1300th block of Northeast U.S. Highway 301 and spoke with 2 witnesses who had found the children, both of them 5-year-old girls, locked in a shed. The witnesses told law enforcement that the kids were locked inside the structure with a brick placed against the door. There was no electricity or running water inside, and a large knife was placed on top of one of the girls' backpacks and could have been a hazard if the knife would have fallen or been knocked over while the children were sleeping. Furthermore, the children had been left without any food or any way to call for help. How about the fact they're fucking locked in a thing? Let's start there. The children were not severely hurt, but deputies described both girls as being malnourished. All right. I want you to also keep in mind that these young girls are probably extremely scared, frightened. It's dark. It is very early, between midnight and 3 to 3:30 in the morning. There's no lights on the outside of this shed. Why the fuck? There's no excuse. Sorry, I get very frustrated. Keeler, how are you? So heaven forbid these young girls walk out of the shed looking for help. They would unfortunately probably wander into a major highway, and you know how catastrophic results would probably take place, Sims added. According to the sheriff's office, what was her name? What was her first name? Tamra and Sabby. Tamra reportedly, the girl's mother, said she stepped away for a quick errand and left the children in Sabby's care. However, law enforcement said Tamra ended up being gone for several hours because she probably went to get a drug deal. See, that tells you how much in the game I am. However, the grandmother, Sabby, allegedly refused to supervise them. After Tamra's departure, Sabby said she stayed at the shed for about 2 hours. However, she then left in search of Tamra because she didn't want to babysit the children anymore. Within this time period, deputies were called to the shed. Hi.
By the way, yep, is Gunner.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Look and see when the profile was made. I already looked at that this morning.
Look at their active comments and then go all the way down to the bottom where he talks
Okay,
about being on duty.
we could have had this conversation.
Just let you know.
I checked the profile earlier.
I just checked his comments.
Are you Gunner? Since my live got interrupted for the moment, I have to ask you, and if you cannot be honest, I will just remove you now. Can you shut that door, please? Kill a dog! Can you shut this? Sorry, we're coming here. Stop, please.
I'm just showing you.
Okay, can you put that low?
Look at the last one.
Look at what?
So I have head out. I just seen that we're live. I'm on duty, working days. So yep is Gunner.
Okay, just relax for a second. No, I'm not Gunner. Oh, it's him. I can tell. I questioned it earlier. Can you?
Come here, puppies.
No, I'm not Gunner. Hold on. I need to acknowledge Deal Dog. Hello, sir. I'm here to get a drug deal. Fantastic. What would you like? I'm like looking around to see if I have anything, and I don't. I don't have anything at the moment. Can we meet up later after the live? Hi, Jay. So we have to acknowledge this now, you know. We have to acknowledge this for a moment. Hold on. Okay. I don't know who Gunnar is. Please tell me. Well, yep. You already had my spidey senses going this morning when you were on Mr. Fool's live. So I was very polite and I just let it ride. And the reason why I thought it was you, because, you know, me, I gotta think about things because I don't know how not investigate shit and read into shit because I'm an overthinker and overdoer. When you asked me, or Fools, how was your day and how are you? And you kept repeating it until somebody acknowledged it. So let me just double check some things. You did mention you're also 22, which, funny enough, Gunnar is also 22. You know, just some things that just so happen to line up. Stolen Valor. Oh, whiskey taters. I'm not Gunnar, but I... So, Gunnar, you haven't been around long enough to know that I can spot things, whether I talk about it or not, from pretty far away. So I am gonna leave it at that. I've got people in the chat that can handle it however they see fit. I gotta go clean the pool. Oh, must be nice. So moving forward, I am me comment because you guys are trying to say I'm someone I'm nuts. Sorry, but I'm out. Okay, goodbye. I'm just gonna move on and continue on. Rainy, can I tell you something? The second chance didn't work. He started talking shit. I didn't. You weren't supposed to give him a second chance, Destiny. So I'm not trying to be rude, but that's on you, girl. I told you. I told you what I would have done. And you said, okay. And then you said, I'm going to give him a second chance. And I said, well, that's on you. You can't be mad. That's how I feel. Not trying to be an ass. Not an airport. Oh, and by the way, yep, one other thing, because I know you're still here. This morning in Fool's Live, you were so kind and said that you subscribed to me. But that's not true. I didn't find you. But you found me. Okay, I'm moving on. All right. Not that that matters. I'm just saying. Who likes peanut butter whiskey? Not me. I like apple whiskey. Apple Crown. Just saying. All right, back to this. The grandmother did not want to watch the kids in the shed, you know, because why be a grandma and like conversate with them or put them in a house at 12 o'clock at night instead of, you know, probably standing outside the shed like this. Like, I always feel like somebody's watching me. They have that. They have what? Peanut butter whiskey? Leah, you don't know about this? I like peanut butter and I like whiskey, but I don't like the taste of peanut butter whiskey. It tastes like artificial crap. Okay. So, Tamara arrived at her residence soaking wet, which, by the way, was the following day. With the two girls claiming to have walked from Gainesville to Waldo, roughly 14 miles, when one of the witnesses gave a foot-long sandwich for them to eat. Okay. I don't want to read this anymore because I'm upset. How are you going to witness that there are two children in a shed and your idea is, here, stay in the shed, here's a sandwich? They're all drug addicts. I apologize. That was rude and that was I just probably said some things that I don't know that are true, but who the fuck does that? What normal person with normal brain capacity does that? I don't want to read this anymore. Wood chipper. And I know to each their own, but anyway. So, okay, she was not a babysitter. She needed to learn her lesson. Okay. Anyway, that's about how it ends. The safety and well-being of children remain a top priority of our agency, but yet the witnesses just handed them food and let them go about their day. Stupid. Fuck you, Florida. That's how I feel. I hope they're on drugs. Otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna, Leah, yes. I'm looking at their photos. I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I'm judging, and I'm gonna go with a yes on that. It's good for bushwhacker with a float. Ooh. Okay. I needed some nicotine. That's all I got in my life. And my water. Bear with me. Butterball brand peanut butter whiskey. They have a brand called Butterball. You're allowed when they hear kids. I know Screwball. I don't know Butterball. You talking about Screwball? You're talking about Screwball. As a mom, your children always come first, clearly. Well, yeah, at 12 o'clock at night to 3 in the morning. Again, no, people are sleeping at that time. If you're up at that time at 3 in the morning, you're up to no good. How did the cops find the kids? Probably. Yes, exactly, fools. Exactly. One of the witnesses who gave the sub sandwich, is it Doughball? I thought it was Screwball. Doughball is the cookie dough flavored one. Let me Google it. Now you got me questioning everything in my life. Cookie dough. Ooh, birthday cake? Cookie dough. Doughball is cookie dough. Oh God, y'all are gross. Sorry. Anyway, yes, it was the witness who gave him the sub sandwich who decided to call police but not help the children. So anyway, missing woman found stuffed in a metal box that was seen in the back of husband's pickup truck. Keeping the kids out there. Yeah, Allie, you're probably right. Focus, sandwich guy. I think it was a lady, just guessing. The search for a missing Pennsylvania woman came to a gruesome end when her body was found in a metal box on property that once belonged to her husband. Vincent Harp, 37, was charged with criminal homicide, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with evidence on Sunday after the body of his wife, Caitlin Harp, was found the same day. According to a criminal complaint reviewed by Law and Crime, Caitlin Harp was reported missing on June 20th after her sister told police she had not heard from her, which was not like her. Police spoke to Vincent, who admitted that he had argued with his wife after dinner on June 19th, but when he awoke at 5 a.m. the next morning, she was gone. Caitlin Harp's sister told police that the Life 360 app that she had used had also stopped updating on the night she went missing. So in case anyone doesn't know, Life 360 is a way to track your friends and family. You all can get on the app and do the thing. I did that for my kids way back in the day, but now I don't need to. Why so negative? Stop focusing on the negative. This is crime. We are talking about negative. That's what happens. Welcome to America. Welcome to the world of negativity. It is what it is. All right. After Caitlin went missing, local efforts and law enforcement agencies banded together to try to find her. Meanwhile, police stayed in contact with Vincent, who allegedly told inconsistent stories about his movements before, during, and after his wife's disappearance. Among the discrepancies were conversations he did or did not have with a counselor and whether or not he had his phone on him at certain points in time. According to the criminal complaint, the investigation yielded a witness at a gas station where Vincent stopped in on June 20th to ask if the store sold gloves. Why are we yelling? When the witness, a cashier, told him that they did not, Vincent asked if he could have a pair from the employee at the gas station. The cashier gave Vincent Harp a pair of gloves, which he then put in his pocket before leaving the station in his silver Chevy Silverado pickup truck. Police eventually combed through Vincent's phone records, which placed him in various locations that he allegedly drove to in multiple vehicles. One location was a remote mountain road that he drove to in a GMC Yukon on the morning of June 20th. There he got stuck in mud, which left drag marks in a wooded area. When asked by police what he was doing there, he was unable to articulate a reason. I misspoke? Who misspoke? Just read what? What happened? You're a jackass. Okay. Vincent's cell phone was tracked leaving the area and going back to his residence. According to the criminal complaint, Vincent's Silverado was seen on a surveillance camera just a few hours later, and visible in the bed of the truck was a large green metal box. On June 25th, police said that a utility vehicle, or an ATV, that had been sold by Vincent the previous day was brought to a Pennsylvania State Police station. It was inspected and tested positive for human blood. The search for Caitlin continued on Sunday and made its way to Harp Lane property that had once been owned by Vincent Harp. With permission from the current owners of the property, investigators and law enforcement descended on the scene and found a large green metal box with a strong smell of decomposition. Inside were human remains with a distinctive tattoo identifying the body as Caitlin Harp. Police said that further investigation of Vincent's phone data put him at the location where the body was found on June 21st at around 10:30 a.m. He was also tracked to an area near Harp Lane at around 6 p.m. the same day. He was arrested and charged with criminal homicide, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with evidence. He was arraigned on Sunday at 7 p.m. and denied bail. The next court date is scheduled for July 14th. What's up? Hey, Dirty. How are you? I want to see. Did I miss people? What happened? What'd you guys talk about? This world is backwards. Look into Esom Hill stories out of Polk County, Georgia. That's not where the Appalachian Mountains are, is it? Appalachian. I know it's Appalachian. You know what I mean. I'm writing it down. Story, Polk County. Polk County, Georgia. Hey, Steven, how are you? How much are we at? 48 minutes. We got a little bit of time, friends. A little bit of time. We need to find a new thing. What are we talking about? We're talking about terrible people in the world who are doing crimes against their loved ones when they could just walk away. And they choose to do things that they shouldn't. Which, if you guys don't know, yesterday we had in northern Idaho, I will tell you that while I'm looking for another article, in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, which is very, very north. It's going to be closer to the Canadian border. There was firefighters that responded to a fire, and they were in, I don't want to say they were in a shootout. Two of the firefighters, unfortunately, were killed because of an ambush from a 20-year-old punk who ended up starting the fire and shooting the firefighters once they arrived. Never considered divorce. Murder, sure, but never divorce. I am brilliant. Hope you and everyone. Yes. What are we talking about? Yeah. So that happened yesterday, unfortunately. So 2 firefighters were unalived. There were a few others that were injured. And the shooter was found unalived himself. Now, all of you know, if you don't know, now you know, I'm not a big YouTube person as far as getting my news and my information from YouTube. I get a lot of it from TikTok. TikTok is my jam. I scroll all day on that. Not all day, but it's easier for me to scroll there. And something that I had seen is people doing that conspiracy theory crap the same way that they had the conspiracy theory, which again, I don't know because I wasn't there, about the Las Vegas shooting at Mandalay Bay when they said there was multiple shooters there. They're also theorizing there were multiple shooters in this instance and that some 20-year-old kid is taking the blame, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, it's hard to look into those conspiracy theories because as much as you want to know, you're never going to know the truth. So, the guy broke into a grocery store through the air vent, fell through and broke his leg or arms through the store. I remember that a long time ago. Or the lady that got burnt by the McDonald's hot coffee. Because, you know, coffee's not hot. And she sued them and got a bunch of money. So. But anyway, that's the latest stuff that, if you guys didn't know, I know that Idaho story yesterday made national news. So. And then other people are saying it's one of the sleeper sales. Hi, Jeremiah. A sleeper cell that's, yeah, anyway, just so many. The rabbit holes we could go down for conspiracy theories, I think would be really cool. But I also think there'd be a lot of arguments going across the board just because, you know, it's a conspiracy theory. Or it's a thought, you know, like the flat earthers, Idaho new is going crazy. Yeah, Jeremiah, did you hear that 2 firefighters were shot yesterday? All right, I'm trying to find another article here that doesn't involve children and people are sick. Did someone say conspiracy? Hey, a-hole! Yes, I really need to get into some of those. I know I talk about it. I'm working on it. I've been posting little things. I'm really working at trying to be consistent. I'm going a different route. I'm trying some things. We're gonna see how it works. But twists and turns. Hi. I hear everything. I'm addicted to drama. Well, that's good to know, Jeremiah. Killing machine. Women tried to bribe cops. Oh, geez. Sorry, I'm looking at some of these titles and. Okay. Did we read this one? I don't think we did. I don't think we read this one last time. Did we? Gerald's. Okay. It's an older case, but Gary Stephen Maynard. Allie, this is that person, isn't it? Am I right? Is that the one? You remember our Discord conversation? I'm like, is that the one? Because... Did you have a birthday? Because I look... Oh, a-hole, don't try to fucking butter me up. No. I've been working on my skincare. Thank you for asking. That job, mom's house burned down. Yeah, I saw some stupid people like, oh, his parents are a Trump supporter and he doesn't like it. So these people who say that Trump or Republicans or Democrat, like that is the reason for why they're fucking stupid, is just a shit excuse. Different guy. Oh, okay. I'm tired of hearing that. Are they MAGA? What does that matter? What does that matter who you voted for? That doesn't necessarily mean anything when it comes to common sense. Well, maybe it does, but it depends. You have Discord? I do have Discord. I do. Okay, let me read this. Mind-blowing. Woman who stuffed stabbing victim's body in a futon is captured across the Atlantic. A suspect has been arrested months after a woman's body was found stuffed in a futon inside her Philadelphia apartment. Oh, okay, Allie. Buttering you up. Okay, a-hole. Gerlis? I don't know how to say her name. Sanchez Reyes, 28, was arrested in Madrid, Spain, according to the U.S. Marshal Service, and will be extradited back to the U.S. It appears that she will be charged with murder. The body of Carolina Martinez, 21, was found in the early morning hours of April 5th. The Philadelphia Police Department said Martinez's friends contacted them because they had not heard from her in several days. When officers secured a search warrant and arrived at Martinez's apartment on the 4400th block of Frankfurt Avenue in the northeast region of the city, they found her body wrapped in a shower curtain inside of a futon. She had multiple stab wounds to her neck and torso. Hi, Mike. How are you? Sanchez Reyes was announced as a suspect just days later on April 12th, with police securing an arrest warrant for her and asking the public for any information as to where she may be. The U.S. Marshal Service's Philadelphia branch announced her arrest on Thursday. So she had been living in Philadelphia for less than a year. I don't know why I can't read. Apparently I can't read. Less than a year working as a waitress. A local business owner said she was a customer of his and he would see her around every now and then. Okay, so it's unclear if or how the victim and Sanchez knew each other, nor is it clear whether the suspect had connections in Spain or fled there for another reason. And that's the end of it. That's how it ends. We don't know. I wonder if they were roommates. Because that's interesting. They went right to the person who did it. Anyway, that's strange. I didn't know futons were... Sorry to say this. I didn't know futons. I appreciate you, California. Thank you very much. Hi, Salted. How are you? Is this a strange, dark, and mysterious? You know, I'd probably get sued for using that. I'm just letting you know. I appreciate you. Thank you. We're just doing regular crime today, but I am working on some stuff, so I appreciate you. What was I saying? It's always the 4400th block. Yeah, always, always. But I didn't think futons were that big that you could put a person inside of a futon. This is going to sound really grotesque. You love my cup? Oh, dicks. Hashtag Rainy loves dicks. If you know, you know. If you don't know, we should probably explain it to you. But yeah, this is from Dick's. I wish Dick's would sponsor me. That would be amazing. But this is a Dick's purchase. That's why we have the Dick's emoji, which I think I got rid of. So, yeah, the funny is Dick's Sporting Goods, right? And so then someone came up with hashtag Rainy for Dick's. But I was just telling everyone that Dick's Sporting Goods, if you want a freaking Stanley Cup, right? They have about 5 aisles worth of Stanley Cups in every color, every shape and size that you can imagine. And I was promoting Dick's in a sporting goods kind of way, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, I would not think a futon would hold a body. I could see one of those hide-a-beds. Yeah. Oh, Barbie, I wasn't thinking about that. I was like, a hide-a-bed I could see. A hide-a-bed couch. I could see that happening. All right, guys, you get one more article out of me and then we're done. Hi, Zuby, how are you? You know, I had a futon years and years and years ago when I was trying to make it in the world. And it was pretty thin. Like the back pad was like this, the butt pad was like this. It, you know, had the backing, and if you folded it all the way, then it could lay down. You know what I mean? It was like click, 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 click. It was, you couldn't hide a body in that at all. Wasn't gonna happen. Why are we wanting? What are we doing, Chris? Can fools do karaoke? Destiny, we did that earlier today. Hello, Jason, how are you? We sang a couple songs. It's really hot outside, dear. I had to step away. For a giveaway you won? Alice, what'd you win? I gotta hear about it. Well, I gotta go. Okay, bye, Salted. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for stopping by. Alice, what'd you win? A new car? Did you win $100? That's the only giveaway I know of, but I didn't get a notification. One, I gotta keep going. You know what one means. I do know what one means. Too damn hot. It really is. It really is. We're still looking at 94 degrees. It hasn't changed. Chris, we're only doing this for an hour. I love you and I appreciate you, but then we run out of things to talk about. And you know who hasn't gone live in a while? Miss Leah. Can't stand futons. The cushions always end up reshaping. Aw, I know. See, in the futon I had, there was no reshaping of cushions. It was just, I remember I got it from Target. It was just flat. There's nothing to it. No cushions, all just one thing. That's it. It did have arms though. Fire season. Yep, fire season is here too. Yeah, it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a rough go this year for fires. Partial verdict reached. Doesn't look like they've come. Wait. Verdict as to count one. I'm tired of this P. Diddy shit. I'm doing research for live about the GATE program. Oh, you're gonna talk about the GATE program? Sorry, like the one that we did in school? Miss Leah? You know you are the only girl that can... Okay, Ale. I can't wait. Wait, the GATE program? Like, you put on the headphones and you had to hear the sounds? Is that the GATE program we were talking about? You got a cleaning kit. Oh my gosh, Alice, that's amazing. That's a good win. That is a great win. Great win. Alice, where did you go for that? How do I sign up for a potential win? That's amazing. Or was this like at your local place? That's the gate. Oh, not gateway. She said gate. Dang it. You're right. Thank you, a-hole. I appreciate it. You were in it for years. I've talked about it briefly before, but now I've been deep diving. I have other slides. You know what? So when I was younger, and this is super crazy, but when I was younger, supposedly, what's the other thing? What's the GATE program? That's, Alice, I'm confused. What are you saying? No, she's right. GATE, gifted and talented education. Rainey knows her stuff. We already have a fire in town. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So when I was younger, it was before kindergarten. I was about 4 years old. And I had to go to this special school. It was not a preschool. Not a preschool at all. It was a special school that I was told was for kids that had ADHD. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never heard of a school, maybe like a behavioral school. Isn't that funny? At 4 years old, I went to a behavioral school, which I was not a troubled kid. I wasn't doing anything bad. Anyway, let me tell you the story about this place. So I didn't get dropped off by my mom or anything. They actually came in a van and would pick up all the kids. So there were several of us. We'd get picked up and we'd go to this school, which was this big building, and it was a controlled environment. So picture like a daycare, right? A daycare setting. You've got all your puzzles, you've got a coloring area. You all remember the fancy little I don't know what it was called, but you know, the different shapes, and they were different colors, and they'd give you the pattern, and you'd put like, you could make flowers with it. It's like hexagons and triangles and diamonds. I don't think there were any circles, but you know what I'm talking about? If you know, I can't remember what it was called, but anyhow, the reason why I say to me that place was not a school of any sort is they had a two-way mirror in that place. So you could be observed from the other side of the mirror. And you want to know how funny I am? This is how much of an ass I am. Again, I was not a troubled child. I was not. Miss Rainey's ass at 4 years old saw the mirror and went up to it and was like, what's going on inside of it? Because I had to know. And that's how I found out it was a two-way mirror. Because something inside of me told me I needed to know what was going on the other side over there. But anyway, the cardboard string shapes? No, it wasn't a cardboard. A lot of times they were wooden. It was a wooden puzzly game. They had different colors, and you could make your own things with it, shapes, but they were all, I don't think there was any circles. But anyhow, that was something. And then there was blocks, of course, but I remember there only being like 5 or 6 of us kids in that. Oh, is it tanagrams? Is that what it is? TANNEGR. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure is. Sure is. Let me blow up this picture so I can show everybody. And I'd love to be able to freaking put this up here without doxing myself. Hold on. Outlaw! How are you? Okay, hold on. I'm going to turn you around. Those things. You guys remember them? But I didn't have thin ones like that. I'm fairly certain mine were like thick. I already know the pink drink, the hearing tests. Yeah, girl, I was in I went to a special school. I don't know why, but whatever. And I do remember the tests, but I don't remember a lot of, I was never in the gifted that I remember. But I will also tell you that 1st to 2nd grade, 1st to 3rd grade, complete blackout years for me. I cannot tell you anything that happened. I couldn't tell you my teachers. I couldn't tell you friends. I could not tell you anything that happened. Hi, Dark King. How are you? I'm following you from Saudi Arabia. I love you. Well, I love you from the US. Hi. They were big wooden. Yeah, they were very thick. They weren't these little plastic craps. Memory holes. Oh, yeah. No joke. Yeah, those were really fun. I really liked those. To be honest with you. Yeah, big wooden blocks too. So, Davidson Institute as a kid, to this day, I swear it was a government. You never know. You never know. Fight over homeless lady. YouTube might be a crime soon. Saltwater. I tried to watch her yesterday after I got off of my live. I can't do it. I can't. I watched a little bit, and she didn't seem like a terrible person, but I'm also not a big fan of women who dress that way on the internet and then expect to be treated as an equal. That's just how I feel. I'm a female. I can have that expression and that thought. So I was in a special ed class all the way through school. Okay. Trust me, you don't want to be labeled as gifted. The schools will, it's horrible. As a kid, you just want to be seen as normal. Yeah. There's a pipeline straight to the intelligence. I'm going to show you how. Oh, God. I don't want to know. I'm already bombarded with so much information. But anyway, imagine being 4 years old and supposedly going to a school for kids with ADHD. That's not a thing. Yes, I have. I have not looked into it because I don't want to know. But I needed it. I'm autistic and ADHD. Well, then, Destiny, if you needed it, then that makes sense. Sometimes those special classes help you succeed because you learn at a different pace than other people, and that's okay. I haven't heard of it that young. I know, that's why I'm saying, Leah. I was 4. It was before kindergarten. The other thing, I got in trouble at that school, by the way. That's entertainment. What's entertainment? Watching the way that she's dressed? No, I just can't. I can't respect any woman on the internet who gets upset dressing the way that they do and then gets unwanted attention that they don't want, but yet they're dressing it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. 3 so far. The memories are coming back in chunks. Gold medalist in Special Olympics. I didn't fully know how to tie my shoes until 3rd grade. Okay, that's okay. You know what? They make Velcro shoes and those stretchy ones. You put your face on the window. You want to know. I did. And you know what? Hey, Lawless. The other thing was when we were picking up those kids, the guy had to go pick up other kids, right? Because I wasn't the only one being picked up. I remember me and this other kid, we were in the van and we dared each other to kick the door. We're like, kick the door, see what happens from the inside. And so I did it. And I got in a lot of trouble because it was so loud. The guy, it was like, as a kid, I just remember this big, beautiful house that we stopped at. And it was a really long sidewalk the guy had to go knock on the door to get the other kid. And he was way at the door and I just kicked the door as hard as I could. And he heard it. And then he got back in the van and he was like, who did it? And the fucking kid narked on me. Oh, man. Anyway. So that's about enough of that. I've obviously gone over my time. And I will let you guys go for the evening. I didn't expect to be talking about my naughtiness at 4. Jesus loves you so much. Well, thank you. I really hope so. You know you were a perfect angel. The other thing I did is there was a kid in my kindergarten class and he was a redhead and he had freckles. And what I ended up doing is one day we were doing class and I pulled up with one of these, a Sharpie. And I asked him if Lord, I'm sorry. I asked him if I could connect the dots on his face with a Sharpie because he had a lot of freckles and he let me and it was fine. And I got in a lot of trouble for that. So that's probably why I had to go to that special school. I really did. I used a Sharpie and I connected the freckles. And even through high school, because we, when you're going to the same school or similar schools, he was a cool kid. He didn't ever get upset, but when I tell you he had a lot of freckles, and I just connected the dots. But it's fine. It's not a bad kid. They're teaching you how to connect the dots in school. I mean, come on. That's harmless. I was not a devil. I was a good kid. I think I got detention one time. No, that's not true. I got detention in 2nd grade because some kid pushed me and I got the wind knocked out of me, so I kicked him in the balls and I got in trouble for that. Don't hit me and see what happens. I just stuck up for myself. That's it. What's the new emoji stand for, please? That one says, don't tread on me, fools. Being like fools as in y'all are fools, not Mr. Fools. The other one is Drama Llama. There's a crime time, and then there's karaoke one. And Miss Leah made those for me, so thank you, Leah. I may have done bad stuff. Yeah, but mine was harmless. It wasn't like I was stealing people's lunch money and, doing that. It was harmless stuff. So you're very welcome, Alice. Took the wind out of him. Yeah, I had kicked him in the balls. Sure did. I actually did that another time, wearing a rollerblade, because the kid kept bothering me, and I kept telling him, you better stop or it's gonna happen, and it did. Yeah. She needed more. I did. I needed an upgrade. So, hi, Nikki. Okay, guys. Nikki, we're leaving. I'm sorry, Chris. Look, don't bother me. Don't put your hands on me. That's all I'm gonna say. I used what I had at the moment, and that was it. If I ask you not to touch me, don't touch me. Simple as that. Little boys like to push little girls' buttons, and then they get told. And why am I the one to get blamed for that? Anyway, I love you all so much. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you for the 51 likes. I very much appreciate you all. And this was an impromptu, so thanks for sticking around while I stumble over the words, because I was not going to do a crime, but I appreciate you for stopping through while we did that. So, yeah, you better. And don't forget about your fundraiser thing. Girl fights in school didn't get good. Yeah, we didn't fight like that. We don't pull hair. I haven't paid attention. Okay, I love you. I gotta go. I'll stand here and look at you all day. You're awesome. I wish I was there earlier. It's okay. It's okay. Have a good day. Have a good evening. We shall chat with you later.